Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Channel. I'm really excited about making this video for you guys today because I believe that out of the 2 decades that I've been doing mediumship, there's one question that I get asked the most. Out of everything that anybody wants to know, it's always this one particular question. And in essence, if I were to condense it down, it's always some version of, is my loved one who has passed away also with my grandmother, who's also on the other side? So, are my loved ones together when they cross over or when they are on the other side? And you guys, I just want to say this times infinity. Not only are your loved ones together, they're never not with you or each other. So the relatives want to explain it like this, okay? So when you hear the phrase that we are all one, that is very true in a metaphysical sense, that we all come from the same collective energy field or vibration, or whatever makes sense to you in your mind. We all come from that same collective vibration, and we feel so individual and separate from each other, and like we're different from each other. And even the biggest differences that two people may have, from their looks down to their belief systems, down to their values, anything and everything, we are still so much more alike than we are different. And in a metaphysical sense, there is no separation between us and anyone else, and that includes those who are non-physical. Okay, so the way that the relatives are so good at giving analogies, right? And there was one way that I really liked that they described this scenario. So basically, while we are here in our physical lifetime, we still have the larger part of us that remains in the spiritual worlds. Okay, so there's only a tiny little fraction of us that is existing in this physical world. And so not only do we have access to our loved ones who have passed on, but we also have access to our own inner spirit. And that is where you're going to find, what's considered your intuition, your inner voice, your instincts, impulses. That's all stemming from your inner spirit, which is connected to your loved ones as well, who are on the other side. So the relatives like to explain it like this. So we, as in everyone and everything, including plants, animals, humans, basically every single thing would be like your arm, your shoulder, and your arm, and your elbow, and your wrist, and your hands. Okay, so that is everything that is. Now, we, as a physical body, or that we call ourselves I, that would literally be like our fingernail. And when we come into this physical lifetime, it would be the equivalent of taking our fingernail and dipping it into a glass of water. Okay? So now this is how we go about living life, right? And the environment is just slightly more dense. So we have access to sort of lower vibrational energies and experiences and feelings. But when we pass away and we reemerge into non-physical, it's simply just like taking our fingernail out of the water. And suddenly we are in that less dense environment, and we are still connected to all of our loved ones who are also non-physical, but who are also still physical still, because we are all connected to the same limb. Okay? So there's never a time, ever, ever. And sometimes this can kind of creep people out. Like, you mean even when I might be doing, personal stuff or things that maybe I wouldn't want grandma seeing me do? In essence, yes, but it doesn't really work like that. Spirits don't judge. They don't hold people, to being right and wrong, and it just doesn't work like that. And so the answer to your question, when you think about your loved ones passing away, don't ever question that, yes, they are immediately reunited with all of your other loved ones. That's one of the best parts about death, is really death here is birth there in the spiritual world, right? So I like to call, people often talk about their loved one's death anniversary, right? I instead like to call it that particular loved one's spiritual birthday, because that's what it is. It's a death from the physical, but it's a rebirth back into the non-physical. So there is no actual death. Nothing ever completely just ceases to be. And we are all connected by the same collective vibration, field of frequency. And our individual parts about ourselves really come from us deciding that we want to express ourselves in this particular way, and that is what makes us different. And that can be anything from our interests to the way that we look to our value systems. We want to have variety, we want to have balance, we want to have we want to encompass things that might make people open up their mind and their eyes to seeing the world and seeing different variations that make them see things differently, right? But yes, so to answer your question, your relatives, your spirits are never not with you, and they are never not with each other. They are absolutely in reunion and completely excited and motivated and eager about bringing light and guidance to you and helping you out. Okay, so I hope that answers any questions you might have about what happens when we reemerge into non-physical. So thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, spread the message of the relatives. It's pretty important stuff, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you next time.